Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. So, in between episodes, I actually did quite a bit, and that was all in order to make this Bladesworn talisman. This gives you, if you're dual wielding, you have a 10% chance for it to be used, and it will hit with both hands and then add a bunch of physical damage and bleeding damage on top. So this is yet another link in the chain of just triggering attacks whenever I attack in order to increase my damage output. And it also adds a fair bit of physical damage, adds some piercing resistance, some offensive ability. So it's just a pretty nice talisman all around. I think it's a relic. Yeah, it's a relic. So, in addition to that, also found myself a new blade that massively increased my damage. I think it went up by like 40 DPS. So yeah, life's good when life is good. But creating that Bladesworn talisman was not easy. It's because you can buy the blueprint from Devil's Crossing. Once you have the first level of reputation, you can just, or the second level of reputation, you can just buy it. It was like 9,000 iron scraps. So as far as blueprints go, it was actually pretty affordable. And it's a level 25 item, so there's no point in actually getting it before that. But it needs a number of interesting items, and one of them is a silk swatch, which is well, we could call it a second tier crafting material, because it needs other crafting materials to make. And one of the things I needed for it to make was a... And we learned yet another potion thing. Last days of Arkovian. Excellent. One of the things you need to make the silk swatch is a vicious spike, and you need a battered shell. He's big. And that battered shell is actually something that you don't find a lot from undead or from humans. You need to specifically hunt monsters for it, and turns out the best monsters to go after are the wasps. They have a very good chance of dropping the battered shells. If you go after the boars, they mostly drop bristly furs, so that's not what you want.
That skill's not ready.
And it turns out that the spike rats are also not very well armored. They drop mostly vicious spikes as well. So I ran all the wasp nests in the area, eventually going into Darius Cronley's hideout, because there's 2 wasp nests in there as well, and there I actually found what I was looking for. And I also did a kill of Mr. Darius Cronley himself, just for gold and XP, because you also need 8,000 iron bits to craft the talisman. So yeah, there was a decent bit of farming involved in the making of that relic, but I think it's worth it. My DPS went up by 10% from 400 to 440. So that's a fair increase. Oh, we just ran past a lectern. Oh wait, we don't need it anymore because we've already completed that quest. Also, they are on that side of the door. And there's a priest there. Priests cannot heal those that you just one-shot kill. That works. If you kill faster than he can heal,
I can't do that yet.
then it doesn't matter that there's a priest nearby. It's mostly against the tankier enemies that do need a fair bit of damage to go down. Their priests are annoying. And I should just go backtrack a little bit. Ooh, scrap. So yeah, crafting is useful for making relatively powerful items. And I think the relics, you can only obtain them from crafting. They don't drop anywhere.
Can't do that yet.
But they're pretty good. And now that I actually have myself a relic, that's yet another thing crossed off of the list, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Until maybe I want to make a transcendent relic, which actually requires... that's the exit. The transcendent relics, you actually need to make multiple relics, and the relics become the crafting materials that you fuse together to make the new transcendent relic, because it transcends the regular relics. Okay. Let's keep going. We are down here in order to kill two ghosts. Two unnamed ghosts. Loudus Vagra and Rovena Cur. Why is there a priest here in an area that I already cleared? Oh, also because I was basically going through the entire, mostly through the entirety of Act 2 in order to just find wasp nests and things like that. There was a devotion shrine that I skipped a bit earlier because I did not have a spare frozen heart, but I now actually have it because of course I'm no longer using frozen hearts in my rings, but I'm actually using Balthazar, eternal servant of Dreeg. You are raising the dead, you bugger. Right. I'm using the corpse dust now in my rings for the increase to life regen rather than frozen duration reduction. So I had a spare frozen heart, which was good. Because I actually could use that to unlock the devotion shrine that wanted the frozen heart as a sacrifice. And that gave me a point, and I actually completed the Dryad, which is a pretty nice skill. It's actually ticking right now, and during most extended combats it just stays up. I'm pretty happy with that. So what does the Dryad do, you might wonder? The Dryad, it has a 33% chance on attack, and I've linked it to one of the passive attacks that has a 20% chance to be used whenever I use my standard attack. So 1/3 of 1/5 is 1 in 15, so 1 in every 15 attacks is gonna trigger it. It has a 8-second recharge. So if I manage to do 15 attacks within 8 seconds, or roughly 1 every 2 per second, I'm just gonna keep this up. Statistically, on average, I'm gonna keep it up. And it lasts for 10 seconds, so it lasts for 2 seconds longer than the recharges. So it can actually just overlap a little bit with itself. And it does a small heal when it triggers. 3% plus 112 health, which is restored, and then you have some reduction in poison and bleeding duration on yourself. So if you're fighting enemies that cause poison and bleeding, it lasts less long, as it lasts shorter than normal, so you take less damage. So, but this is just a small pulse heal, and it's 112 plus 3% of your life. So currently I got 3000 life, so 3% of that is... Now it is going to be about 90 life plus 112, so there's about 200 health that gets healed. It's not a big deal. Basically, my life regen will regenerate that in 3 seconds, but it's all the little bits, they just add up. And when you are fighting, it just helps you a little bit to ward off the enemy. Just stay alive a little bit longer.
I can't do that yet.
Aha. Arbalest, yes. Priest. Let's see. Probably can't go here.
I can't do that yet.
Just wondering. There's Archer here. Oh, you can go through here. Okay, there's multiple ways to the door. Also, lectern. Probably nothing in it again. Nope. Okay, so there's just plentiful plenty of lecterns available for you to loot in order to get 3 books that you need to complete the lore book quest. Okay, let's just keep going, and then another boss fight. Oh, downstairs. Arkovian Undercity, next level. Okay, there's 2 priests here. Might as well take those out first before we fight anything else. We got some AoE skills and such that will just make things die almost a natural death by just being way too near to me. Okay. Let's keep going this direction. See what we can find. Here. Likely to just find the edge. Haha! Laudos Vagra. He's the second one on the list, so we're actually doing things in order. Also, things hurt. Let's take out priests first. Things like that.
That skill's not ready.
Also, ow. Yeah, more priests. Ooh, warlocks as well. Just running around a little bit. Trying to see if there's any more priests available. Just pulling enemies apart does help for that, because if they're bunched up, it's pretty hard to see what's where. And especially since priests have a habit of staying in the back line for a bit, pulling them apart does help with finding them. Okay, we got some loot. I think we can now just go ham on him.
I can't do that yet.
Also, this is probably a good point to put up a portal. Okay, so you can actually do some teleporting as well. It's also a very dodgy character. Archers, let's take those out.
That skill's not ready.
We got him. Just regenerating health. Grand spoils. And another alchemist's belt. Since my shared stash is overflowing with blue items, I got 3 tabs completely filled with blue items. I actually, when I get a duplicate, that's not something like a one-handed weapon or a one-handed pistol that you could potentially dual wield. But no, if it's like armor or a belt, I'll just check which of the ones is best, and I'll just sell the one that's the least good. Helps making a little bit of money, and yeah, it just makes sure I got the best gear in the stash and nothing else, because there is not enough space to store everything. Also, there's a priest here. That explains why the guy was just having issues dying. Ah, there we go. Man. How many priests can I be? Here. Right. I think we got all of them now. And then the flame revenant is nearly dead. Good. Good. Hey. This is just a long walk. Good. And there's just some rendered popping up behind me. But don't want to spend an overly long time just slaying random enemies. there's a priest there. You died first.
That skill's not ready.
Okay, and now we keep going. Well, not there. That bridge is broken. And we drink another energy potion. Do notice that this build loves its energy potions. I'm using so many skills all the time.
Can't do that yet.
I think my energy regen is like 10 or 11 points per second, which actually is pretty decent, I think. I wonder if... I don't think my conjurer has that much energy regen. But he doesn't really use a lot either. That's the trade-off. He's got the pets doing all the damage for him, and here you are constantly using abilities. Hello there, all Recon Poles, the Swifts.
That skill's not ready.
Okay, he's completely not dying. There's priest there, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah, you can wait for a rather long time if there's priests nearby and you don't... you haven't spotted them. Alright, let's turn it into a fair fight. Just you and me. Yeah, see, this goes pretty quickly. We got him. Ooh. Witch Stalker. What's a Witch Stalker? It's an epic one-handed sword, maybe? It has armor piercing, but it's average speed. Then that's probably not. That's probably an axe then. +2 to Soleil's Witchfire. That makes it occultist friendly. Also, holy moly, there's a lot of items here. And okay, we have some space still. Another strongbox. Add more items to the collection. We keep going. One more ghost. And that's not it, but I'll settle for killing it anyway. Ah, there, Rowena Cur. +4 levels. Right, let's do our usual thing of killing archers and priests, not necessarily in that order. Just make sure that they're both dead. So Rowena is the caster, I think? Or is it just the archer? Ah. Stuff was in here, that was archers. Okay. I think I want a portal. Just because she is hurting quite a bit. Because she is ranged, it's pretty hard to avoid her, especially since she does frost damage. Okay, she got healed again. Where is that priest? Let's just run around. I got frozen. Yeah, it was less than useful. Upside, a lot of enemies are gone. And I'm a statue, a frozen statue. Wait, is this just her life regen? Or is it just these guys? There's a priest up there. I don't think they got the range, but just as a precaution, here, die. The warlock. And then the archers. And then we go back. Ah, you followed me. How friendly. Saves me the trouble of having to walk towards you. Slowly just whittling her down. And there she goes. Excellent. Killed all 5.
I can't carry it.
All 3 heroes.
I can't carry
And I'm full. And then we have to find the Calderos outside of the Steps of Torment. That's gonna be some corpse dust. Just gonna ignore the yellow items. Let's see, we got a bridge here. I know there are deeper levels still.
Can't do that yet.
Trying to. Oh no, wait, that was the Steps of Torment. So that's another area. Right. I mean, they're both deep underground things with lots of skeletons, so it's a bit easy. It's actually easy to mix the two up. There's a priest there. Die. Thank you. Oldenar's stabilizer. That's a belt. Yes, always space for a belt.
Not ready.
Expecting a large guy. No large guy? Huh. Missed opportunity. One of those corpse golem things. Okay, there's a priest still. Let's see. Grab that one. And take out the priests.
I can't do that yet.
Let's do some spinning. Spinning for winning. We're running low on energy. But that's okay. There's only 2 of these guys remaining. Okay. That worked reasonably well, I would say. Check the outside. Ah, it's not the outside. It goes deeper. Going deeper underground. Oh, so, priest. Let's take him out first.
That skill's not ready.
Also, warlocks are still high on my list of assassination targets. That's because they actually do quite a lot of damage. Because they work with elements I don't yet resist very well. It's going slowly better. I mean, vitality is now at 32. Just keep focusing on it. I mean, my other resists, the elemental resists and poison and bleeding, and those are 80 or almost 80, so they're relatively easy to obtain. So it's these last 4 and to a certain extent piercing as well. So if I find these resists, well, actually stun resist I haven't found yet, but vitality, ether and chaos. If I find any of those, I weigh them a bit heavier than the other ones, just because it's so much easier to grab the other resists. Right. So let's put up a thing here. No portcullis. There's gonna be another boss fight here, if I remember correctly. Or is it the shrine that's gonna be the boss fight? No, yeah, Kilrian, the tainted soul. Whoa, that's a lot of vitality damage, or chaos damage actually, because it's purple. Let's actually deal with these guys.
That skill's not ready.
Ah, sealed by a powerful presence, so you just have to defeat the boss to unlock it. Ow, ow, I wanna get out. Yes, thank you. You're outside of the circle. Let's teleport to you. Okay, enemies everywhere. On the other hand, if they're just simple enemies, then that's okay. Clearing them in order to just basically make the arena larger, I'm fine with that. Oh, there's no staircase up, so you really have to walk all the way around to get up there. Again, we can work with that, just have to know it and understand it. And I think these enemies, they're all just fixed spawns, so once they have spawned, they're not gonna respawn. Which is why I'm focusing on them. So then it's just a 1 versus 1 rather than having also the add-ons to deal with. Okay. This is basically like the fight with the Chthonians. It's the guy that also kept summoning the ether circle, I believe it was. Oh, that was my own circle. All them circles, I'm mixing them up. Okay. You stopped doing the circle. I'm very, very happy for that. If you notice, it's really easy to tank him this way. And now the circle's back. Okay. Let's run around picking up loot and then the circle's gonna be gone.
I can't carry anymore.
Buzz, that's a bit too big, that's a helmet. Okay, it's on this side, that's good, we can work with it, because we are standing here then. Okay.
I can't do that yet.
See if he's got a nasty timer on it or not. I had to drink a potion there to stay alive. Okay, and he approached me, that's good. Oh, other sides. Wait, let's just take a slight detour. Yeah, and he's approaching again. Potion, potion. Come on, get over here. Get out of your circle. I don't like your circle. It hurts. It burns. And we got him. Sweet. Blood Reaper's coat. No, I think I was asking for Blood Reaper items. I remember something along those lines. But the thing is, I already have the Blood Reaper's coat. Here, see? Look, I already got it, game. No need to send me more Blood Reaper coats. Thank you. So you just pick up some smaller items, since you can sell them more easily. Is this a better one? So it's not actually better. The old one was better. Fun, fun, fun. Let's just put it in here, then I know I can sell that one. But we defeated Kilrian. There's a couple of corpses with loot. I forgot to loot those, of course. And then we have a shrine, and we need to sacrifice chilled steel. Well, we can do that. And we get a devotion point and more loot. Excellent. Yeah. So we can spend the point. So we've completed the Dryad, we've completed the Assassin's Blade. And I was gonna go for Blades of Wrath. There's also something I need to attach to a skill, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So it only triggers on a critical strike, but I don't actually do a lot of critical strikes, so I'm not quite sure if this is gonna be useful. Because it would just, basically, if I attach it to one of my proc skills, it's gonna be a 20% chance to even be used. So it's 1/5 of my crit chance, and that's basically a small part of a small part. No, technically, support skill wise, it's actually a pretty good one to go for. In this case, we'll just ignore the final one, grab it, but not expect too much out of it. And then grab all the other things. Cause no, the bonuses to cunning, piercing damage. I mean, piercing is my main form of damage right now. Offensive ability that actually boosts my crit chance a little bit. So we need purple. Yeah, like with the Blades of Nadan. There's also lots of extra piercing. Requires swords, which I use. So that's good. So let's see. Raven here. That's physical. 15% chance on attack. That works well. 1 second recharge. 3 projectiles. Some falcons swooping down. They inflict main hand weapon damage and some bleeding damage. Extra physical, cunning, bleeding, physical. Actually, I do piercing, not physical, so that might not be the best. Got a wraith, which is also partially water. Needs the blue, actually. I mean, I'm calling it water because it's blue. It's lightning and ether. That does not work quite well. So, lots of purple down here. Let's see, the bird. The crane. Spirit physique. Poison and acid resistance. Bonus damage. Vitality resistance. Elemental resistance. So this is relatively defensive. But you gain 5 order. Okay, that's why it was easy to find. Okay. It's actually pretty tricky. 10 physical. Some internal trauma. Don't think I even do trauma damage. This is a defensive one. Thargo's hammer, that's a block chance, so I don't use it. Seriously. So you would expect purple is this direction. So okay, we got an owl. That's spirit. Energy cost. That's not a bad idea actually, because I'm really burning through my mana. So I got burn, frostburn, electrocute. So elemental bonuses. Offensive ability. Cunning, piercing, cold, piercing, cold. Okay, harpy it is, because I also get 5 points of constellation bonus. Sweet. So, next up, harpy. We can do it. And... oh. So, we did everything here. There's a bunch of yellow items lying about, but I don't want to go back to town for that, so we'll just see. Let's see what's at the end here. Are we done yet? Are we there yet? Okay, and we just ported back to a side area of the level with the exit, I think. Yeah. Yeah, because this actually just led back to itself rather than to the outside, because there is already an exit to the outside over here, and you cannot go back. That's also an interesting bit. Hey, well, let's head back to town and make some money by selling things. But I'm gonna do that outside of the episode, because it's been going on for long enough. So, we finished the Undercity. So, next up we have to speak with Calderos on the Steps of Torment, which is also gonna be a couple of levels more on that slaying. Followed by a pretty intense boss fight, and after that we're gonna make our way to Homestead to get towards Act 3. So as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.